Hey guys, happy Saturday. I just wanted to hop on here. It's a beautiful day in Iowa today. It's not as chilly as fall, but it's so nice outside. So Matt and I are outside working in the garage, and I thought yesterday I did the Chalkateur thing because I get questions, and so I thought I would walk through. I'm going to be making over a dresser that we picked up, and so I get a lot of questions about how I do it, what I use, and so I thought I would do this live to kind of show you the steps we take to make over a piece like this. So I'm going to switch around the camera and I'll show you what Matt's working on. This old chippy door. Not all the panes of glass were in there, so he's taken all those out. This door is amazing. I got that a couple weeks ago. Okay, so here is the dresser I'm working on today. And I get asked, how do I know to pick up what we look for? So number one, this is an old dresser and it's all wood. So there is no, what do I want to say, Matt? It's not called like laminate or veneer or particle board. It's all real wood. That is my number one thing. You can paint the laminate and the particle board. You can do that. You can totally paint that. I just like the way real wood pieces look after we get them done. So number one, is it all wood? Number two, this is not a make or break for me. I want all of the hardware. If I can get the original hardware on, I'm out in the garage, guys, so I might have a connection issue, but I'm just going to plug through like I usually do. If you have any questions, leave them below too. Anyway, so it has all the original hardware, which is amazing. All of the wheels are on except for one back one, but if we pick pieces up like this and we can't salvage the wheels, we'll keep the one or two that are salvageable, and so then we can use them on pieces like this. So Matt will add another wheel onto the back of that. So I will kind of show you some of the products. I left links to all of these products. These are some of my favorite things that I use probably every time I do a makeover. Dixie Belle Boss is it'll make sure that there's no bleed through. If there's a smell, a stain, it'll stop that. So you put that on before. I do not always use this because Dixie Belle paint is so good. You usually don't have to prime it. But sometimes, if you guys can see this color, this reddish, it's more red than it's showing up here. Sometimes I will do it on these redder pieces just to make sure. So then it's just one less step that I would have to do. The mud from Dixie Belle paint, I love. It will fix little problems like this. If I shared a piece yesterday or the other day on Instagram. Oh, it's right here. If it was like this, which I'm going to tackle this one, this will be fun. I will not use the mud on something like this. I will take the veneer, the top layer off. I will not do the mud for something like that. But these little pieces, I will use the mud for that. Zebra paintbrushes, they're the best paintbrushes ever. I use them on everything I paint. Walls, trim, pieces like this. And then this stuff is just magical. So I use this. I've used it on woodwork in our flip houses, on floors, and then I'm going to use it on the bottom legs of this because I'm going to paint the rest of this dresser. Okay, so the first thing we will do is always take off the hardware first. Always take off the hardware first. And when we take it off, we usually, Matt's going to do this part, put the screw back into the knob and then put it in the drawers or Matt's got this little drawer he's going to use, because you will lose them. Or get a Ziploc bag and put them in there. But just remember where you keep them. We put them in Ziploc bags and then we don't know where each of us have put them. So take all of the hardware off. And then people always ask me what I wash these pieces with. So I just if I'm going to paint something like this, I just use a damp rag. You don't need anything fancy. This one is just dusty. And if it had a bunch of gunk on it, I would use like a magic eraser. I would use scrubbing bubbles. If I'm going to paint it, you're going to paint it, you're not going to ruin it. And even if you're not going to paint it, it's not like you're going to leave heavy water or wet on here so it would damage the wood. This is just a damp rag. So I will just wipe this all off And then before I paint it, I'll just wipe all the dust off because you don't want the dust and the stuff inside your paint. We probably should have taken some more of these off beforehand, but we didn't. I just came out here to do this and I thought I would hop on here. So I will show you how the mud works. And if I can use it, anybody can use it. It's very easy. Okay. So I just use a small putty knife. This one I should sand. That's just from past projects. I should sand that off, but I'm not going to. And I just put a little bit on there. And then I am not careful with it. I'm not pretty with it. I just want to make sure that there's enough in these little creases that it's going to cover and make it level with, level with the wood. Like this. And I keep taking it off. So anyway, you just want this level, and then you just let it sit. Don't worry that you went over your holes or your little spots. That doesn't matter, because as soon as it dries, you will just come back with sandpaper. It sands so well. Just come back with sandpaper, and I'll show you, I've even just left it, not kidding, like really messy like that. It sands so well, and then you can paint right over it. It comes in different colors too. I've always just had this color because I'm usually painting over it. So it doesn't matter what color it is. Okay, Matt, can you screw that on? Thank you. Okay, so after I get it all clean, and I pretty much clean the front, but that's one of the biggest questions, or the most asked questions I get, is how I clean it. And this is it. I mean, it's nothing fancy. And then I'm going to, of course, get the question, why would you paint a piece like this? I get it every single time. Because this is what I like to do. And because this is not like an old fancy antique that came from my grandmother's mother, or no, I picked it up at it was a thrift store, right? Yes, I picked it up at a thrift store. I mean, it's not a big deal. And it is scuffed up, you guys. Like, it is, I'm not going to restore this. I'm not going to restore it. I am going to paint everything out in, I'll show you the color, Sandbar from Dixie Belle Paint. And then I'm going to put the restore down there. Here, Matt, can you, I don't know which part you want to do. Do you want to hold the camera? Or do you want to do this? Can you open that? So, I'm going to use these Palm Pros from Dixie Belle Paint, are amazing. So this is the Boss, and I will show you. This is how you, if you've got a red, like a red colored piece, or this is how you paint a piece without having to sand it. This Boss stuff is amazing. And I'll just show you on this top drawer. It basically looks like paint, but it's going to dry. This one's going to dry clear, which I love because then I know where I've been. So I just paint it on.
Can we ask the questions?
Yeah, they have questions.
Somebody says, why do they think they put wheels on old furniture?
I think it was for, you're so funny, should I ask the question? I think it was probably for moving it around. I mean, don't you think?
Yeah.
For easy, okay. So, I didn't put clean clothes on either. Oh well. So I am just, yes, keep putting your questions below. Matt's got the phone, so then he can ask them. So I just put this on. It will dry clear when it's dry, and then I'm ready for paint. I don't need to sand this. A lot of people say, do I have to sand an entire piece? If you are using Dixie Belle paint, I love this paint because no, there's not a lot of prep work with it. The paint goes on so great. But if there's pieces like this, like I said, that are kind of reddish, or I feel like they might bleed through the paint a little bit more, I will use this Boss stuff. And so,
They're asking me where the speaker is on your phone. Am I holding it?
are you holding this? It's right down there.
Yeah, I think I was holding it.
Okay.
My bad.
Matt in the camera. He's learning. He's learning. Everybody says, where are you? Well, we just went on vacation, and I asked Matt to take some photos, and we were at the Kansas City Chiefs game, and none of his photos showed up on my phone. So we don't know what happened. So he's learning. Thank you guys for saying something, though. He had his hand on the microphone. Okay, so basically that's it, you guys. Like, this is really easy. This is how I do all my pieces. And then, okay. This has this, it's not raised at all, but I don't want that. I don't want that on the piece. I'm going to cover that with the Boss as well. Just in case it would show through. I don't think it would. Like I said, I love the Dixie Belle paint because you don't have to do a lot of prep. And once this dries, how I describe it, it's so weird. It makes it feel like what I did this, once it dries, it feels like raw wood, kind of to me. So I don't know how it does that, but it's really great for soaking up the paint and making sure nothing bleeds through. So that's the Boss. I just wanted to kind of show you the steps that I take on this video and answer the questions that I get. I will not, like this drawer down here, it's so worn, and I'm not going to Boss that. The paint's going to cover that really well. You could sand this, like if it's a little rough, and it is a little bit rough, we could sand it just to make it more smooth. But I don't think I'm going to do that on this one. Okay, let me obviously wash out your brushes or put them in plastic if you're going to continue using them. Okay, and then I'll just show you the color quick. Dixie Belle paint, oh my gosh, their colors are so pretty. We have this color. I painted our coffee table in this color. I'll just come down here, and it's so pretty. And I will, obviously you can tell, I will have to do a couple coats, but it will cover just fine. But that, I will paint the entire dresser in this color. And then down here, let me just set this up here. Did you use my rag?
Huh.
I had a dry towel here. It was right up here.
There's one over this.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay. So for the Restore a Finish, and like I said, I left links all up above for all this stuff that I use. I got the dark walnut for this one because the wood tones down there are so dark. So this stuff, I should probably have gloves on, but I'm not going to worry about it. There's just a little blue
cap
on it. Okay, can you get down here, Matt? Show them like how the wood is coming. Okay. So all I do for this is, can you see that? I just put a bunch in a rag. And if you guys can see, this is all worn off here. It's all worn off. This stuff is like magic. It's not stain, but it just restores the finish. I love this stuff. I need to get it in every color possible. And to get like in these little grooves, I can go in and get a Q-tip and get that. But I just wanted to kind of show you how this stuff works. Like I've said, I've used it on cabinets. I've used it on trim. I've used it on hardwood floors. If you guys followed along with our last flip, I used it on the stairs in that house. And I mean, you couldn't tell there were scratches or anything. So, you guys, so it's going to be this color against this dark wood. And that's how I do it. I will probably just start, I have to wait for the mud to dry to do this side, but I will just start, I will paint everything else, and then I can come back and do another coat on the side. Once this dries, I will sand it, and then I will use a damp cloth and just make sure the sand, I've picked up all the sand or the dust off the side, so I'm not getting the dust in the paint and ruin the paint. So, okay, are there any other questions?
No.
No. Okay. If you have any questions, if you watch this on replay, just put them in the comments below, and I will get to them. But I will be sharing the makeover soon on the blog, and
Don't cover the speaker.
I won't cover it. Okay, Kathy, thank you, Matt. Yeah, he was covering up the phone. So this is, you guys, okay, the reason I do this and the reason I love sharing this stuff is because this is how you decorate your home the exact way you want without spending a lot of money. I mean, you get the exact look you want. Takes a little elbow grease. It takes a little time searching for pieces, but then you, for nothing, and they don't make pieces like this anymore in your big box stores or wherever you're buying furniture. It's just my favorite thing, and I just love sharing that you don't have to spend all the money and put money in savings. And then this is how you should decorate your home, because it's easy and it's not rocket science. And another question I was going to answer is, I'm just too scared to start. I don't know. What I say to that is, go pick up something that's small, like a magazine holder or a little stool, or what else is small, Matt? A small wood box, even a nightstand. Pick up something small for under $10 and just try it. The worst you have to do is paint over it. You might have to sand it down a little bit, but just try it. You guys, it's so much fun. Sorry, I was just going through these. Okay, it's so much fun. So anyway, I was coming out here to do this because the weather is amazing, and I wanted to get on here and just kind of answer some of the main questions I get all the time. And then, like I said, I will share the end product with you soon on the blog, hopefully this week. So have a great Saturday. Bye, guys.